Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Wednesday live stream with iOshi in the house. Hey, we have 4 people in here. That's great. What's going on? How are you guys doing? Hope the audio is good. Hope this comes through. I have it here on my phone, so we'll see if it shows up. I think there's about a 30-second delay. But hope you're good. I have some really cool things to show you today. And I'm just going to wait until this loads. The cues are here. Hey, guys, what's going on? Hey. Hope you guys are doing good. It's nice to see this green after, what was it, 11 or 12 days of red. Nice to see some green. We'll see if it lasts or not. Can't wait to hear your plan. Yes, the plan. My flan. I'll show you guys what I'm thinking. May not be exactly what happens. May not be exactly what how it all plays out, but I'll show you my thoughts on, I guess, I hate making predictions, honestly, and when I trade, I could show you guys, and I promise one of these days we're gonna fire up some live action, real time day trading, right? I want to show you kind of how I work through. I probably made 40, 50 trades today trading crude futures, and it's all based on signals. It's all based on setups and systems and my rules. And yeah, I might have a hard time following those 100% of the time, but when I do really well. And I could show you, like, today's performance was a little bit shaky, but I was resetting some stop parameters, and so I really wasn't following or watching the trend. So I had pretty big losses, but then fully recovered all of those in the next, say, 20 some trades. And then I started thinking, right? And then I started thinking, and every time I do that, I kind of get off the tracks. However, the more I do this, the better I'm getting, and the faster I can kind of recalibrate and get back on track. So anyways, that's all coming together. I'll show you. I wanted to show you that. One of these days, we'll kind of walk through that. It's pretty fast action, but it's pretty cool if you'd like to see that. So we'll do that. Distrados here. Hey, what's going on? Good to see you. All right, so real quick, let's go over, before I kind of jump right into the plan, and hopefully, guys, if that's cool with you, we'll maybe make this like 30 minutes today. I don't think it needs to be super long. We can cover everything. Let's go. We'll fly through the world. So yesterday we saw Dow Jones make a new low. So let's kind of zoom in on that. And we saw Dow Jones make a new low on. However, that's right, into close, it kind of popped up. And then look, this is a daily chart, right? So and I had an alert here on this line, but we've broken up. Let's go to the 1 hour so we can see that. But basically, and this is interesting because I'm going to have to think about how to draw this correction. And I know there are a lot of ways you can correct, right? So it may not be a pure and simple ABC to here, but okay, so basically, this was the closing candle, was this green one right here. We put a new low in here below this low here, and that's what not worried me, but maybe gave me an indication that we might be coming down here for deeper. We still might, but the more this kind of action we get, I think the lower probability, or the lower chances that is, right? So we just have to see what happens here, but seeing this kind of break up on trend, that's a strong signal. And we've seen it equities and crypto too today. But and also one thing I didn't note, but the DXY, or the dollar, is at like 100. It's like 99.97 right now, right? So it's all this in the face of a relatively strong dollar, which which makes it's friction for the bulls, right? So it just makes it harder for things to move up, easier for things to fall, because things are more relatively expensive, right, comparatively. So anyways, nice to see this break above this line here. Is this correction done? I guess it could be. I did it on yesterday's video, but basically, like, I'm gonna do like an ABC. I'd start at the top and then find an A, usually your first low point, and then B, and then C has to have 5 waves, right? So here, and it was on the 1 hour, I was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can see 5 in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can see that A and C look pretty symmetrical. It looks like that could be it. But then we made this new low here, and I'm like, well, what that means, that has to be C. And here's my challenge was, if that's B, then, or I get, hold on. Sorry, if that's still B, right? This is a funky 5. That was my issue, right? See that? So that is 1, 2, 3, and then 4 has a massive overlap up here to 5. So that's a really ugly 5. So I couldn't get 5 in there. That's why I said, basically, I feel like we'd have to redraw. Anyways, so, but could this be over? I think it could. Remember also that we kissed the 618 on the correction here. So once again, it kind of checked a box for me that the correction being over, yes, it could be possible. Because really, you kind of just need a 618 correction and it'd be fine. But yeah, we'll see. If we hadn't kind of broken up on this trend, I'd say, yeah, it could just be a push up and then a fall down. I shared that S&P chart with like A up and B down, and we did break down. But again, on S&P, let's take a look at that. This is the low time frame. Look at that. We're turning around. Okay, cool. Let's go to the 1 hour. Yeah, see, same thing on S&P. We came down, and this was our low, I think. No, that was our closing candle. That was our low. We gapped up yesterday. That's right. Gapped up yesterday and then fell throughout the day. And then into close, we didn't actually quite come above the low like Dow Jones did. But anyways, today's follow through is promising. So let's draw a line here and just, because it's all, for me, anyways, it's all about trends, right? So, and I'll show you why this matters on one chart, on the crude chart that I trade. But look, we popped up here, and that's just a good sign, right? So what I'm looking for is we should start to check boxes that the correction is over, right? Just like here, we were starting to check boxes that might not be over, new low, not sure. But now as we're coming up here, that shifts the probability in my mind to, okay, maybe that could be it. And that could be enough for all of us. And that'd be great for the bulls, for us, right? And it does make sense that Bitcoin's kind of local bottom could be in. I know a lot of people are saying it's not, we need to go lower. We could, I'll show you that in the channel. But, we could start checking boxes here that we start moving up. And then, so what I'll do is basically like here, I start watching like climbing the fib ladder, right? So I draw a fib from top to bottom here, and then I just watch it from 0 to the 1, right? So as we know, 618702, getting through that's kind of a go, no go. And you need to get through that, obviously, to make a new high here. But we'll work our way up through these fibs. So we kind of hit this 236, got a little rejected just on the hourly. No real surprise there. But can the bulls take this up? So, again, nice to see us break up on that trend. Why trends are important in my mind? Well, I have a system built on trends, an RSI trend, break and break. But let me show you an interesting chart on futures. Let's go to the crude chart, right? And that's CL1 exclamation mark on the ticker. Here it is. So basically, like this, see this line right here? This is the 1 hour chart. So I was trading, and I kind of had a short bias too. It was tough all through here. But basically, look, this is a massive move for crude. 93 to 104. It's like a 10% jump. So really look, like honestly, on the 1 hour chart, I know you guys probably, this is more about crypto. I get that, but I'm really trying to get you to share my experience and my education and my understanding of charts and patterns and that sort of thing. So hope you guys don't mind. We look at all sorts of charts, but these are all applicable even into crypto when we're looking at charts. So anyways, look at this, look at the bigger structure real quick. See this down line here? I'm going to switch to the daily chart. Okay, so we know, if you remember, we had this long trend that I was calling for a nice short on the break of it. Well, look, we've broken up on the top side of this, right? So this just happened like at an hour ago, right? So this is why you see and I'm not sure exactly how to, I guess I'll just draw it like that, but basically that's a bullish move for crude to get above the line, right? Because you're basically um, you're invalidating, or you're invalidating the downtrend, right? So with a move up top, that invalidates further downside, right? So basically it's like, hey, this trend is over. Or just like on this long trend up. Um, yeah, we love all charts. I know, I love all charts too. So, but anyways, yeah, as you go up here, once you break down, you invalidate the trend, right? So that's why my whole system is breaks of trend. So when you break a trend with the close of a candle on the other side of the line, to me, that signals that the trend is likely over, right? So, but this candle above here now signals that this downtrend is likely over, right? Just interesting. But let me show you. So that's the structure on the daily, but let's zoom in on the 1 hour. I guess we did break the line earlier, but this pop here was what I was looking at, and actually, I could zoom in and show you more structure, and we will. Kind of interesting, but anyways, yeah, this is a huge move for crude from 93 to 104, a 10% move, and futures are leveraged, right? So I think it's close to 20 to 1. So it's a leveraged product. So, you know, when you catch a 10% move, that can be very, very significant for contracts, right? So you do hear that about commodities contracts, you know, because you're dealing with so much size, right? So anyways, I think this continues, but let's look at the, let's zoom in. I do trade the 1 minute. So I do, and it all works too. Like the whole system. It all works. I was looking at this pattern right here. Let's zoom in. Yeah. So see, okay. And so this is my day in here, right? So this is like maybe 7 back here to here. See how like we're basically uptrending, and if I do drop an MA on here, it'll be the 20 MA, but it's going to be sloping up. The trend bias should be kind of long. I was kind of short. Anyways, there were you know, and this is 5 minute, but there were some downtrends here, but the trend direction was largely up. But anyways, I caught this. Let me show you this pattern here. See, I identified this when I saw this finally on TradeStation. It was like, look at that. That's what that is. And I tried to catch it here. It got rejected, but then it did catch here. So nice break. Look at that pattern. Almost a perfect, you know, rising. It's not a rising wedge. It's like a continuation pattern to the upside. This was, if you remember, in Ethereum 2017, put in a really big one of these before it went to its kind of blow off top. But anyways, popped right out of it and then ran. This was like 103, then ran a whole. This is a $1 move right here. So really big move. Anyways, just the kind of highlighting the importance or significance of trends, and you know, they work. You see, you know, trend lines once they're kind of broken, it's a big signal that the trend is likely changing, and so that's why you'll get moves pretty quickly. Once you kind of break a trend, you'll get a pretty quick move. Anyways, so that was Dow. We know Dow is strengthening now. It looks like the correction may be checking some boxes that it's over. Same with, well, equities, right? So S&P, NASDAQ. Let's look at the overlay comparison. See all the 3 equities markets that I'm tracking here with Bitcoin are all kind of hooked. So yeah, we need some obviously continuation here and to climb up some fibs here. But that's, like I've said, I think a few times in the last week or two, you know, like if this is a turnaround, this is what it's going to look like, right? So if this is it, this is what it looks like, right? Doesn't mean it is it, but if we're turning here, it's going to look like this. So we just needed to continue. Nice to see, obviously, Bitcoin up $1,000 today. Nice to see some alts doing what they're doing. And but we have all markets are green into a strong dollar, which is good. This is total 3 versus Bitcoin. We have obviously, you see the bounce here, right? So what I would be looking for, and let me make sure I have the chart right here. Oh, there's the magnet, right? So I put the magnet on. Let's see if we've kind of broken this trend. So this is on that's on the 5 minutes. So what I would do is I wouldn't be able to place it here. So I kind of come back here, right? And do that. and then I bring it down. It looks like, oh no, we see, and again, the participants in the market that are trading the market have honored this line, right? So it was sold on the line. Once again, trends in action, right? So this line was honored by the bears. Bears sold it, so it was sold right here on the line. And now it's got to have to regroup and strengthen. But it looks like, and this is the 1 hour. Looks like we're picking up a little bit more speed here. We've been green. This is the 8 o'clock Central Time candle. So we've been green 3 hours, a couple hours of a cool off, and we'll see if we can cross the line. Hopefully the magnet works how it's supposed to, how it's designed to work, right? Let me see if, no, that's that. We'll get to that. But I had an overlay. I don't know where it went. I may have deleted it. Oh, here it is. So this is the, well, that's S&P 2 minute. Let's do a 5-minute chart comparison. So obviously for like the S&P, it's not open 24 hours a day. So you have these gaps. But I was looking at like on a low time frame. Here, let me blow this up so you can see it. And you hear me talk about this a lot, but you know, once again, it just follows a lot of the same structure. Up moves together, down moves together. Sometimes it's like tick by tick. So what's good for equities is good for Bitcoin. They are surely correlated, highly correlated. Probably as correlated as they've ever been, in my opinion. Okay, so that's kind of it for kind of an update on markets, right, guys? If you have anything that you'd like me to take a look at, please don't hesitate to drop it in the comments or just make comments. Whatever you want to talk about or see, we'll do that. But otherwise, I will show. Let's look at like something that I discovered, and it wasn't my own discovery. Okay, so I can't take credit for this, but it is on another person's YouTube channel, and you know, I don't want to steal anything, but it's analysis and it works, right? So I need to show you guys, because when he saw it, he was really surprised. I saw it, I was really surprised. I think you need to see it because it's pretty amazing. Okay, so what I have here is, this is Kraken, it'll work. Weekly Bitcoin chart. Okay, let's go up to the current time frame. So this is all data, right? And Kraken actually goes back to 13. I'm not sure how Kraken, because I don't think Kraken was around in 13. But they pulled in the data for Bitcoin for 2013. So it's kind of cool. Anyways, okay, let's go to the current. Okay, so as we know, right, we're in a, well, let me go to the daily. It'll make this a little bit easier. So there's that falling line that I'm looking for us to pop on the other side of, right? And if you know me, I always say RSI precedes, right, guys? So what am I guessing that it's going to do? I would naturally default to say I think the probability or the chances are higher that we do cross the line than we don't, because RSI has preceded and has already crossed its line. Doesn't always work, but majority of the time, 60% of the time it works every time, right? 60% of the time it works every time. Okay, so we have the structure, right? And I go over here and grab a parallel channel tool. So watch. This is the top line. And I draw it down, and I'm just going to grab... I can go down here. I'm cheating a little bit, but we'll do that. And then I'm going to change the settings on the line. We'll make these solids. And I'm going to add the middle line, right? So I'm going to add the middle line. Okay, now I'm also, I'm already on log scale. That's an important note. On log scale here. Okay, so we've been in this channel, right? This channel's held. I'm interested here in the angle of the channel. This to me doesn't look 100% correct because I thought this was a better touch on the bottom. However, let's go with it. I don't think I can come to the wicks here, but let's look at that too. Okay, so anyways, we're constructing a channel around the price action since early January. All right, we've been in this channel pattern. Yes, a couple wicks outside, probably 90 5% of the data is inside the channel. Okay, so also what I'm going to do is I go to settings, right? I'm going to extend it left, and we'll extend it right. Because extending it right is important for what I'm going to show you is my plan. Okay, are you ready for this? Brief pause. Dramatic pause. No, stop that. But okay, I'm going to show you. Let's look where this channel brings us to. It's quite amazing. Look at this. Okay, this price action from the second half of last summer's fall down. It didn't quite get to the bottom of the channel. However, it did look, you have support here in the mid-range of the channel. You have this stall point here, which isn't really that significant, right? Let me show you something. Look at this. Now let me switch to the weekly. Sorry, my dog's in here. Let me switch to the weekly. All right. Watch this. Look at this. Look where this channel has gone. Look how, basically how important this channel is. Okay, these are the keys, right? Watch this. And I had a better, honestly, I had a better touch. I know, watch, you can kind of zoom it around, right? But basically, it's the top of 2013's rally, right? Is where this draws through. I think that's, we'll zoom in on the channel area, but basically, it kisses the top of the 2013 rally. It cuts through this correction period. It serves as a resistance to this bounce. It's the mid-range line serves as resistance to this bounce in the middle of this correct or bear market, whatever, June of 19, right? June of 19 came up to the middle of this track, middle of the channel, got rejected, right? It's been honored here last summer, and now we're honoring it again. And I think we're in this for what, 90 days now or so? This channel is significant. Look, again. So we'll start at 2013. Obviously, that's the top of the market, right? Look at that. It's a near touch. Anyways, close enough, right? Okay. Then we come into here, and again, these are weekly candles, right? So it cuts through this, and it serves as a resistance line for this second bounce. Kind of significant. And again, I look at this as like, it's not exact, but it's pretty darn close. And when you zoom in, it's pretty amazing. So it serves as a rejection for this, serves as a rejection for this. That candle stopped at the midpoint of the channel. That candle comes to the bottom of the channel. These candles nearly come to the midpoint of the channel. You have support resistance lines all through this channel. I don't think you can find a more interesting, and I don't think we need RSI anymore, but a more interesting feature that spans all market cycles than this channel that we've been in that projects backwards in time to the top of the 2013 cycle top and then cuts through and serves as support, kind of key support resistance levels throughout the cycles. It's just amazing how that works. Anyways, when he found it, he was blown away. I was blown away. I'm like, holy cow, that's amazing. Never done that, right? With this channel, never projected back. So now, given that, I'm thinking, okay, this channel is pretty significant. It's pretty eye-opening to see that, right? So here's kind of how I see my prediction, if you will. I guess we're going to go ahead and be predictors, right? If I were to be a predictor, what I think we do is I think we bounce from here and see how it's the bottom of the wick is not quite on it, but it's pretty close. I think we get a bounce here. Let's call it 51, May 16, right there. Those are both important, okay? 51, top of the weekly here. Put this like in white. Okay, ready? I think we get a bounce to here. And I also believe that's middle of May. Okay, both of those are important. I'm not going to go into detail, but basically this is kind of my plan anyways. Okay, so that. And then I think this is where we see alts do what they're gonna do. And for me, let's put a fib on here because I want to see if this is like 0.5 or 618. Right to the, look at that, right to the 0.5. So we would get a relief to the 0.5. Then I think we fall out of the channel from here. And you go back to like 2018 cycle. But basically, I think it starts to go like this. Let me get the brush. Okay, I think we fall out here to here, get rejected on the bottom side and then down. Okay, so this is my thesis, my theory for today. And not entirely my own, I'll be honest. But anyways, this makes a lot of sense to me. We're looking for a retrace. I think we stay in the channel. I think the channel is very important. I think, and what I'll be watching for is if and when we get up here and alts have done what they have done, and we will get a breakdown signal. We will get a signal on the daily. We will just like we did here. We're gonna get one here. We're gonna get a break and break, and that to me will be the sign, right? And then I think it's probably want to be in either short or out of equities and crypto for this, and then down to say these levels back here. And then I think we come up and we get rejected off the bottom side, and then I think we go down. So this is like my trading plan, right? So it's pretty amazing, in my opinion, the channel anyways. But if this plays out, this is my plan. And what I think is going to happen is it's going to be like basically alts. You just kind of get what you get, right? So hope you guys like that. That's kind of my thought process as to how this might and does play out. But I'm looking for this would be my next take action point, right? Like I was looking for something a little bit higher. If you guys remember, I was looking for us to get up to here, perhaps before a fall down, then a move up. But this could be that, and then that we get one last push here with equities too. And I have to think about what that looks like for equities. It may not be, Bitcoin doesn't have to move with equities all the time, but equities may not make it that high too. Either way, I think we're gonna have signals and we're gonna have indications. We're gonna have. I think this could look like that. Maybe not exactly, but see how the RSI, what I'm looking for is a signal on the weekly, honestly. So basically, we'd have to start moving up soon. We'd have to keep moving up. And maybe for the next 30 days or so, we move up, we get to the top of the channel, we get a breakdown signal, maybe we get a signal on the weekly, and it signals a sell signal. And that would be a break and break right here. And then that would be, I think, we fall out of the channel again and then move back up. So my game plan, and again, I've said this a few times, but for me, this is like get what you can get. So if CRV goes to whatever it goes to, at this point, it's like grab your gear and get out, right? Because the music's gonna stop, in my opinion, unless like we just blast through and we never get a signal and it's just something else happens. Obviously we'll watch charts 24 hours a day, right? So if we don't get a breakdown signal here, then the game is still on. I think maybe we come to 618,702, but I think this channel is pretty significant, right? So this is my plan anyways. So but let's see, like again, so what if this were to play out? What would say SHIB look like, right? I think maybe SHIB's here, one of these two, right? And we'll see what happens, but it has 3 or 4 weeks, but it's at that time, just like when SHIB did top before Bitcoin back here, right, on like November 1st or whatever. But for me, this is okay. Don't ride this down. I'm not riding it down again. So basically, again, you know, it's like this topping area right here. In the RSI, it may look a lot like this. See that? That low and second high. May get this, another high, and then may drop again. Don't fret. We'll be watching the weekly RSI for sure. Let's look at the daily. Daily RSI. See, we have that sell signal here on this break and break of that moving back up. But again, back here in, this was November, we had a breakdown here. It was a higher high and lower RSI with a break of this trend and trend right here. And that was a signal right there. So I'm not sitting, when we get another one of these, especially at some of these levels that I'm watching for up here, I won't be sitting in that. Right? So that's my plan. And my secret sauce. Obviously, we'll see what happens. My plan has changed before, but that's the way I see things. How they might play out over the next 30 days. If we get a push in equities and a push in crypto, we get up there. I think like back on SHIB. Let's go to the daily again. But yeah, we may get pushes in alts to here. They may not make new all-time highs. That's the thing. Like, let's look at like CRV, right? CRV may not make, it may come up here somewhere, but we'll have to see. They may do really well, and it may be 30 days of like, because we did see alts starting to really go, like ZIL, right? Which I think is a great example, and what I'll be looking for. So let's take a look at ZIL, because I want to make sure that you guys have seen that. But things may start to go a lot faster, especially if it's sort of the end. But look right here. This is something that I shared with you, but let's zoom this down so we can see it. I always have to like adjust my chart settings, but basically, okay, that works. You see how ZIL made it here to what I call a golden zone? And I'm not sure this is an official term. I don't think it is. But it was a golden zone from the fall highs. ZIL made it up to, it didn't actually make a new high here, but it made it to the 883. So I'm watching for these kind of things, right? So fall highs up above the 1618, right here, boom. I'd be taking like, right, I'd be out. If those kind of things happen over the next 30 days, I'm out. Like say if SHIB runs, I'm not sure if it's, let's go back to SHIB because I want to look and see where that number is, because I think I know what the number is, but I don't want to misstate it. But so like you reach into the golden zone in this kind of environment that I'm looking for, and I'm going to be getting out. That's SHIB 5 minute. Let's go to the daily. So basically, yeah, if so SHIB golden zone is that it's 14. Okay, if somehow, some way SHIB, and this would be sweet, right? If SHIB came to 14,000, right up here, that'd be its golden zone from its November 1 high. If SHIB did a run like ZIL did here, I'm like, thank you very much, right here. Thank you very much, 14,000. I'll take it all day long, right? And that's about it, guys. That's my grand plan, and this is what I think is going to happen on alts. I think, maybe some make kind of new highs or whatever, but I'm not so certain that, it's just going to be, glorious alt season. The cycle is totally different. The cycle is different than anything we've ever had before. And, the market's different. We'll have to see how it goes and watch for signals, but it may be a slower market. And yes, there is a chance, in my opinion, there still is a chance this is mid-cycle, meaning that say we come back in the channel, we make one more push, we get rejected, we fall out, we come up, backside. If you go back in time, kind of had that period where we came up and tested the bottom, and then we finally cycled, and we should look at that. But I guess my point is that even though that could be true, it could be more mid-cycle, even though it's kind of weird. It may not be something that anybody wants to sit through, right? So let's go back to the Kraken chart. If this, let me show you guys this. This is, see this? Basically, like okay, this is why that structure kind of exists. One last push, although I know it's not exactly the same. Anyways, you push back up, you get rejected on the bottom side, come back up, you fall, and you come back up, and then hit the mid-range. I'm not sure, I haven't thought about this fully, but basically, like, you could do that. That could be more of like what the end of the looks like, you know, after all this is done. But I'm just not, I'm not wanting to sit through any more red candles. So that's that. Hope it makes sense. Hope you guys are enjoying it. Let's look at Bitcoin one more time. And I hope you guys are cool with a pretty quick live stream this week, unless you guys have whatever posted in the comments. And let's look at Bitcoin one more time. On the 1 hour chart. Cool. All right. Yeah, it's making a nice hour here on. Yeah, thank you, Q's. I really appreciate you guys. Thanks for always showing up and being so so active in what we're doing, trying to get better with charts and trading and everything. So appreciate that. And again, where's our line, right? Just waiting for that to resolve, right? So if we can break up that'll be nice and bullish. I think we looked at this right on the daily. The RSI was kind of already up. So yeah, my guess would be we break it, because on the RSI is already preceded price. That's how I would default. And to see equities already moving up, I'd say that's more evidence that we're going to move up and move out of this. So, but it still has to do it, right? So we have to see us get on the side, on the top side of this line, and then same thing as Dow or S&P. We have to climb that fib ladder and come up here to say, scrunch that down, say like that, right? Come up here somehow, some way, we make it to here, right? So that's what I'm thinking. So hope that's good. That's kind of all I had today, guys. Pretty quick, but you know, hopefully that was good for you to see. My thought process is, obviously it's an eye on the charts all the time and signals, but also it is, you know, that's my theory for how this could play out, and very well might play out. Thought you'd appreciate that channel as being very interesting. So with that, I think that's a wrap, guys. Unless you have something else, I think that's a wrap. So I'm gonna cut out and go back to fighting in the trenches, trying to shave crude futures points. But hope you're good. We'll see you back in the Telegram, or we'll see you in the next video. Hope you're doing good, and we'll see you next time. Appreciate it.